Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stoney Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you get subscribed while you're here. Today we're going to do a 5-Minute Friday and we're going to talk about using hoop houses to extend your growing season. So first off, what is a hoop house? So a hoop house is a very simple garden structure. It's made of some ribs that are usually made from PVC or maybe electrical conduit. Then we put a ridge pole on there to give those ribs stability. And then we cover it with plastic or possibly heavy fabric row cover. Hoop houses are a very, very handy thing to have in your garden, especially in the early spring and the late fall. They can really extend your growing season. How much? You can expect a hoop house to add somewhere around 6 weeks to both ends of your growing season. So 6 more weeks of early planting in the spring, 6 more weeks of late harvest in the fall. And of course, we're going to be growing cool season crops in those hoop houses at that time, but you can add as much as 3 months to your gardening season by using hoop houses. They're inexpensive to build. You can be fancy if you want and put them on hinges, or you can just literally stick some posts in the ground and put them together that way. They're simple to build, easy to use, and a great way to extend your growing season. There are a lot of different crops that you can grow in a hoop house. For example, all of our cool season crops like lettuce and spinach and broccoli and cabbage and kale and cauliflower and collards and root crops like carrots and beets and turnips and radishes, all of those are going to thrive in a hoop house. They're going to do really well. And they're especially nice for taller crops. So if you want to extend your growing season of things like broccoli or cabbage, cauliflower, kale, Swiss chard, collards, all of those fit nicely in a tall hoop house, and you can extend your growing season, adding months to your growing time by growing those crops. If you live in some of the moderately cold areas, so here I'm thinking like zone 6 and 7, you can even extend your growing season throughout the winter by using a hoop house. So crops like spinach, carrots, kale, mosh, Swiss chard, our tatsoi, all of those are going to do really well in a hoop house throughout the winter. Throw a little extra fabric row cover on there during the coldest months and you should be able to harvest 365 days out of that hoop house. If you live in some of the colder areas, you might not be able to get those to grow through the entire winter in a hoop house, but you still will be able to add that additional 6 weeks on either end of your growing season. So it's an amazing way to improve your growing season. One of the keys to being successful in growing in a hoop house is to get planted at the right time. So you need to be planting in the fall, your crops 6 to 8 weeks before your first frost date. That will allow them to mature and be at a good harvestable size, and then you can cover them with a hoop house and protect them through the winter. They're going to slowly grow over the winter, but will do really well. But the key is getting those planted at the right time. Now, would you like to learn more about growing in a hoop house? I've just finished a 50-minute mini course in the Gardening Academy on using a hoop house to extend your growing season. I go through and talk about 3 different types of hoop houses that you can build. We talk about the crops that are going to do well in those hoop houses, and it is a great little course on how to extend your growing season using a hoop house. And it's only available to members of the Gardening Academy, which is our monthly membership service. And so you can join for only $25 a month. You'll get access to this hoop house mini course, and you'll also get access to our library of over 40 different mini courses on different gardening topics. So it's a great way to learn more about gardening and to expand your gardening knowledge. If you want to learn more, click on the link that is down in the description of this video. All right, that is all I have for you for this week, guys. Everybody have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next week. Happy gardening.